This next discourse is by Jesus. My children, I wish to add a few words to what our good brother has just said. In my ministry of 2,000 years ago, about which much is still not known, I strove to set an example of how one might, despite the tremendous opposition of the world, still overcome it. Now, if I were a special being, born in a supernatural way, would my example be one that all could follow? Why, of course not. I, like you, was born of human parents, grew up through childhood, and came through sincere searching and meditation to know my own divinity, as you too may know yours, and for which purpose I came into the world, to lead back to the light the lost sheep that have gone astray, to lead by example. And the essence of that example you still have recorded today in the legend of the gospel. And I wish for you not to read my story out of worship and adoration, as beautiful as your love is to me, but out of the desire to be what I have given you the example for, to know the truth of the I Am presence, which is the Christ within you, and to become that Master presence. And so, if you will only go over the gospel story and see the truth of the spirit that it contained within those words that I spoke, not the interpretation that fanatics and bigots, the subsequent scribes and Pharisees that are still at their work today, have given to my words, then you will begin to know the truth. Remember, the letter killeth, it is the spirit that giveth life. For God is spirit, and you shall worship him in spirit and in truth. And the truth is, my beloved, that although I represent the Christ consciousness on the earth today, only you can achieve the Christ consciousness by your own humble effort. For it was in this very same way that I achieved my own victory. And by my example, my sacrifice, and the radiation of my love, you too shall surely achieve your own victory, resurrection, and ascension. And I say unto you verily, as I am, is the Christ, you shall. See you not? Christ is come. I thank you. And that was a short one. And the next one is kind of short too. It's by Quan Yin, Goddess of Mercy. Dear children, I have so much wanted to talk to you for so long. I have so much love for you all that I wish that I could take you in my arms, oh, to show you the beauty and let you feel the joy, the tranquil peace that passeth all human understanding, of the ascended state. For, you see, here one is free of all earthly cares. Growth goes on, however. Growth always goes on. For you see, growth is the eternal attribute of all life. When something ceases to grow, it is no longer in phase, no longer in harmony with life, and so life begins to leave it behind, and the light becomes dimmer and dimmer, until that thing or condition that no longer grows no longer has sufficient light to sustain it, and it ceases to exist. Though that need not be. Ah, how many tears man would be saved if he would realize that. For you see, even though we would give you chance after chance to learn, to benefit from your experience, if you refuse to see that in all your experience is a lesson, a divine plan for your growth and well-being, well then, there is nothing that we can do for you are masters of your own fates, and we cannot interfere with the choices that you make. We can only love you and pour forth the great light of divine understanding to you, that light and that compassionate understanding and wisdom from our realm may illuminate your path and lead you to victory, and that the understanding love we have for you you may also have for your fellows, for no one labors alone. All that labor in their growth are eased as they seek to erase the pain and the sorrow and travail of others. Remember, in that you have done it unto the least of my little ones, you have done it also unto me. And you know, sometimes it is easy to do a small thing that may mean so much to another, even just a pat on the shoulder. Do not feel that by showing mercy you may be interfering with justice, for I assure you, dear children, justice is inexorable, and divine justice can no more be stopped from coming forth than can the sun after rain. though, be careful that in your human understanding of mercy, you do not allow yourself to become drawn by sympathy into the working of that justice which divine law is bringing into effect in the life of the one you would help. For that would not be mercy, but foolishness. Nothing would be gained by your own suffering, when really the suffering of the one you would help is almost invariably caused by transgression of or blindness to some point of law. And suffering is the only way that that individual God-self can make the individual human consciousness come to that realization. And so you see, sometimes it is the greatest mercy to stand aside and with all the love of your heart bless that one and enfold him in the mantle of compassion. And so remember the difference between sympathy and compassion. Sympathy comes from human weakness and failure to understand the law. Compassion comes from God and is divine, and that compassion in action is mercy. And the most merciful thing that you can do is to be always tolerant in your thoughts and feelings toward others and toward every living thing, to thinking nothing but good. That is what true mercy is. Thank you. Now another discourse begins, but this is the goddess of loving charity. Do you know, dear ones, what charity, true charity, is? My dear sister Quan Yin has told you that mercy, which is the activity of her nature, is compassion in action. So in a larger sense are her activity and my activity, which is the activity of charity, both the same great activity, which is that of love, the pouring forth of God's love into the world. And that love is the very essence of the Christ, for God is love, and the greatest gift that you can give to one another is love. The way to give love is to be love. I am the loving charity of God pouring forth into the minds and hearts of individuals everywhere. This will be of invaluable assistance would you embark upon that labor of love which is the mission of the Christ. Think on that, my beloved, and as you think, be that Christ, and you will find your whole world changing. What you pour forth, what you radiate into the world, comes back to you amplified many-fold. So if you give of your love to others, surely you will be loved, and I do not know any of you that would not care to have more love. For is not love the most important thing in life? Although perhaps the men may say that, having the feminine attribute of the flame, I am partial in that direction. But I think that you ladies, if you ask the men, will find that they too want love. Is that not so? Of course, love must be balanced, and that balance is found only in the Christ, the presence of the God flame within you. And would you find that love which you seek, you must first find and dwell within that flame. And those that feel that they have been hurt by love, I say, this love can never hurt. It is true love, your seamless garment, your eternal protection that consumes all unlike itself. Love conquers all, for God is love, and before love all imperfection, all disharmony must fade. For that love is a great light that fills all space, all substance, all consciousness with itself, and itself is sufficient unto all things. My beloved, I pray you be more loving with one another, for do you not see that the other is really only another face of your own self? I am here, I am there, I am the only presence everywhere. The love of God in action. I am yours, call on me. If you are having trouble meditating, I will help you if you will silently affirm within the stillness of your being, I am loving charity. I think that you will find my effect very soothing. And should you wish a triple blessing, call faith, hope, and loving charity together, for the three of us represent three aspects of the one flame, and you will discover for yourself who we are and what we can do. Remember, I am is the faith, hope, and loving charity of God in action, a sustaining force which shall carry you to your sure, certain victory. I thank you.